Welcome to Super Switch Heads. I am Patrick Knisley, and I've got David Howe.
What's up?
And Matthew Stoner here.
Hello.
And this has been a really big week for Nintendo news.
Yeah, my goodness.
But before that, well, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I had a long nap today. Feel pretty. I'm up and I'm ready to talk shop, talk rumors.
A good
Talk
long
spec.
nap.
Yeah,
Sometimes a long nap.
We're going to be
messes you
talking
up.
about rumors. We'll be talking about the Nintendo Direct and talking a lot about the Direct.
Yeah,
and what
yeah.
we're playing, and then we'll discuss some things about the podcast.
We're gonna the main focus of the episode will be the Direct, so we're gonna actually talk about that in just a little bit. We're gonna talk about all the non-Direct related news and rumors that came out this week, shortly after the Direct, which happened on Wednesday, the 13th, by the way.
The day we dropped our episode.
Yeah.
Episode
So
two.
That was pretty funny. I think we should talk about that a little bit. Like,
Sure.
I think we did pretty good.
We got it out before.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the success of our prediction?
Yeah, I feel like we got like at least 2 or 3 of those like pretty dead
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I think my big miss was Mario Maker 2. I did not think they were going to announce that.
Yeah.
me
But they
either.
fucking
Both of y'all were really against it, and I was
Yeah.
like, I think there's a chance.
You're right.
Score one for me.
Yeah, well, we'll tabulate. We need to go afterwards and like actually tabulate everything.
Well, it sucked that it happened right when our show was happening, so I didn't, we were kind of, should we make predictions or not? Next time, hopefully, we will be able to do a better, scorecard.
I mean,
for
Nintendo
ourselves.
Directs for us, that's like Christmas, right? I mean, Christmas is like Christmas for Nintendo fans also. But it's like, I feel like everyone wants to talk about them when they're out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this podcast, that means you're a Nintendo fan, and we want you in our Discord. Every Nintendo Direct, and we'll probably do it during E3, hop into our Discord, and we get on audio chat, and we just get hyped, and it's fucking hype roller coaster. And it's best time to be a Nintendo
It was
fan.
cool. Yeah. Well, and we'll obviously get more into that
Yeah.
as we get into that segment, but
So, some news that dropped after the Direct, pretty much, I think, the same day. The Hollow Knight developers announced the Hollow Knight sequel, which is called Hollow Knight Silk Song, and they have a new website for it. And they dropped a trailer, and they also dropped a video where they talk about the game, and it's exclusive to Switch at present, as well as PC, obviously. So that's pretty big. I mean, Hollow Knight was a really big game on the Switch. A lot of people seem to pick it up on the Switch and play it. I don't know how y'all felt about it.
I love Hollow Knight.
yeah, I bought it.
I loved it. I bought it.
Well, it's like, I understand it's like a really great game, and I can feel that and I can see that it's gorgeous and it controls really tight. And
Yeah, it does have
seems
nice
really
tight
huge.
controls.
For some reason, I haven't gotten able to get past this little hump in the game, but I also have that problem with a lot of Metroidvanias where there's a lot of backtracking. I kind of forget and I lose focus and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for my friends for this game. I mean, it looks great. Maybe if one day I actually finish it,
Yeah.
I'll be into it.
I need to go back to it at some point too. Maybe if I ever get around
in our
to it.
Facebook group, people are always asking like, "What do I spend my money on?" And everyone always says Hollow Knight.
Yeah, it's a pretty common recommendation.
It's one of the best bangs for your buck,
Yeah,
too.
it's a great value. And then someone else is like, "It's a really good game. I bought it, but I stopped like 50%.
Yeah,
I
well-
think I'm 80%, and I stopped.
Really that far?
I got
I
caught up
really
with other
liked
games.
it, and it's just a little hard for me.
Yeah, it's tough.
The boss battles in particular, and so I kind of got away from playing it because some new shiny game came out, and the prospect of going back to it now, to relearn all the mechanics and all the enemy patterns, because you get it down to where each enemy pattern, but man, so it's a little daunting, the idea of going back to it. So
I'm just really impressed with the developers of that game because that game was it was a Kickstarter game and it blew up way past they were ever expecting, and they painted all these stretch goals for new content, and that's why that game has just had so many free content patches.
And this is one of them too. I think this was one of their stretch goals. I believe.
Right? Yeah, and I think
not a sequel, but an expansion.
as DLC. But then it's but actually, just I read about it, and it's everybody who backed the Kickstarter gets this for free.
Oh,
this
that's pretty
sequel
cool.
because it was supposed to be DLC originally.
Really?
So they're still holding true to all that stuff, and it's like. I almost want to see what they can do with another game.
Yeah,
they've been kind of tied to Hollow Knight
right.
for a while, but I'm excited for him. It looks
Cool.
cool.
Yeah. So another big piece of news that came out after the Direct was, or this is more of a rumor than news, There's a Game Informer senior editor who was on a show. His name is, I'm going to butcher this one, Imran Khan.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, thank God. He talked about how a quote-unquote reliable source, I believe, said that the Nintendo is reviving a very officially canceled franchise or a dead franchise. I think the very officially canceled is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been a lot of people talking about that. A lot of speculation about what that could be.
What is that speculation?
Well, I think there's been a lot of people on the internet saying F-Zero
Feed us
because
the tea, Patrick.
you need it teed up even more. A lot of people have been saying F-Zero on the internet because they want it to be F-Zero.
I want it to be. I want every game to be
I
F-Zero.
want it to be
Just a
F-Zero
little bit.
too.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to believe that. I don't know that any F-Zero game was ever canceled.
There was one that was supposed to be a Wii U launch title.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that was developed by a third party kind of studio that was going to be, or it was developed by a third party studio, published by Nintendo, and that was canceled. But it
realize
wasn't as officially canceled as a lot of other. Big.
Right.
I feel like you could list 10 different franchises that have been very.
Oh,
officially
more than
canceled.
that. Actually, on Reddit, I saw somebody post a list of every canceled Nintendo game, and it's just like fuel for the fire. But another big one is Scalebound. What do you guys think about that?
That's the hot goss on the street
Right.
right
Yeah,
now.
I get caught up in the word franchise because Scalebound is a new IP from Platinum Games, and doesn't feel like it fits the description of a franchise. It might be a new IP.
Yeah.
That would explain for a franchise. I really want it to be Scalebound.
Tell me about Scalebound because I don't know
It's
much about it.
like a fun dragony game. It's like there's a lot of dragons.
Yeah, I saw
it's
there is a
fantasy
bunch
based?
of dragons.
Yeah, it's like all dragons.
I watched the 2016 E3 trailer. It's a Platinum Games. Platinum Games are the people who made Bayonetta and Star Fox Zero.
Wonderful 101.
Wonderful 101, that's right.
Astral Chain coming out as well.
Oh yeah, the new
We'll get to
Astral
that later.
Chain. And it was supposed to be published by Microsoft and exclusive to Xbox One.
But there were some Scalebound games before that.
That's a
What
good
do you
point.
mean? You mean Platinum Games or?
No,
No, this would have been a new IP. Scalebound. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was just in development since like the Wii days. It was actually
Yeah.
supposed to be on the Wii originally.
Yeah, a really long time. So Platinum Games is like known for their action games, and this was more of like an RPG element action
so
game.
that's why you're saying the word franchise, kind of.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
don't
work
think.
for that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there's other Scalebound or other games from this universe.
No, this would have been the first. It was a new IP, right?
Gotcha.
And,
I see.
But I mean, it got people hyped up. I mean, it looked good. To me, it didn't really like the 2016 footage and the 2014 footage. Like, kind of reminded me of a cross between like Devil May Cry and like Monster Hunter, something like that. Both of
pretty
which,
accurate.
like the hack and slash games, have never really been my huge cup of tea. Like, I want to really like Bayonetta and those games, but I kind of find myself a little bored with those games. But I think that definitely everyone's is buzzing about this, and I think a lot of it is because that the Imran Khan article, or that speculation came out, and then all this stuff about Scalebound started coming out. So everybody thinks that those are related. You know what I mean? But really, they're both just fairly baseless. I mean, Imran Khan has a lot of clout in the game industry, but it's like, anybody could have come to him with bad information. So.
I kind of, if it's not F-Zero, then I kind of hope it's something really out of left field, like some game like Ice Climbers or something. Like they make a completely new 3D open world Ice Climbers.
So
game.
you're
A 3D open world, Ice of the Wild.
or some really
Flash.
old game that was just a 2D platformer in the NES days, and then just completely remake it.
So you're thinking this is a Nintendo franchise?
Well, it seems like it, but I get it would have been
That's what I would assume. Yeah,
or
based
some
on that
or
article.
some developer that works like Platinum does, like really well with Nintendo.
If it is Scalebound, Platinum is going crazy right now.
Yeah, that's the other
Right.
thing, right? Like, how do they have time for?
Well, they have coming out. They've got Bayonetta 3. They've
Chain.
had 1 and 2 already. What'd you say?
Astral Chain.
Astral Chain. It would be this.
Maybe a Wonderful 101 port.
Exactly. They did Star Fox Zero. You know what I mean? And they've worked on a ton of stuff recently, and it's like so much of it has been Nintendo exclusive. So them going from Microsoft to Nintendo isn't. I mean, it's crazy, but it's not really out of the realm of possibility. And it actually kind of makes sense a little bit if you think about it. So,
Any other game you might hope or wish that could be?
well, I know people were talking about Mother 3 on the Switchheads Discord, and I'd love for that to be the case.
That doesn't seem to fit
I just feel like it's never going to happen at this point, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it would be great for them to just plop it on the eShop and just have it be out and it's translated and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think there's also a lot of controversy with that game
Right.
that we kind
came
of
out
discussed
pretty
a little
recently
bit.
too. Last
Just give
couple
me
weeks.
Bayonetta with a Waluigi skin.
That sounds like that will happen, honestly.
I'm on board.
If she can dress up as Fox in Bayonetta 2.
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
think she
so
can
you
dress up
get
as
it.
Waluigi.
Well, also in that same interview or in that same show, the Imran Khan said something about Kingdom Hearts. You know, we've been here. We talked about this like the last couple of weeks or last week at least. Kingdom Hearts rumors continue to swirl that maybe there are some remasters of the older Kingdom Hearts games coming to the Switch. He said 3, probably not likely, but he's been hearing some things about maybe the other one's coming, and they have some weird numbering, like 1.5, and I don't really understand all that
1.8.
or desire to.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that Clay Fighter game? Clay Fighter.
Oh, yeah,
63,
Clay Fighters.
63 in a third.
Oh, that's right. They
Yeah.
called it that. That's right.
It's similar to that naming schema.
It's like 44th and a half street here.
Yeah, exactly. I think it makes sense for them to do remasters, do like a HD collection like they did with Mega Man X.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, I think it'd be a lot of porting process to bring those old PS2 games over. You know, I feel like it's probably easier to port to the PS4 architecture than it is to the Switch. That having been said, I mean, we're seeing stuff like Final Fantasy X and X-2 and stuff like that. But
Good point.
I just think it's funny that everybody keeps writing off a Kingdom Hearts 3 port for the Switch when it was built in Unreal Engine 4 and the Switch handles Unreal Engine 4. I'm not going to say well, but it can play the games. You know, it would be very descaled, obviously. But I think I almost feel like we would get 3 before we would get those, just because of the engine that it was created in. You know?
Yeah.
That's some good speculation.
We can.
I mean, that's we'll talk about Unreal Engine 4 later in the show. So nerds,
Really?
get ready.
So, and lastly, before we move on to the direct, and this is kind of a big one, the other big piece of news, or rather, again, rumor we're hearing is about VR or VR Labo coming out this year for the Switch. So back in October, there was a data miner that found the Switch has some VR capabilities. I don't know if you guys saw that or remember that. We're going to talk about this data miner later too. His name's like Oatmeal Dome or something like that.
Cool name.
Yeah, or that's his Twitter handle, something like that.
Sounds like a cool guy. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, they found some evidence of VR, and another data miner like followed that thread even more and found like a screen where you can kind of. It just showed some of the VR. Seems to be built that they build it with that expectation that, or, you know, it's Nintendo, so they seem to throw everything into their hardwares just in case. But what Emily Rogers, who's a leaker / writer for some Nintendo websites, said she knows that, you know, one of her sources says VR is coming to the Switch. Another Go Nintendo had another source that said the VR is going to be a Labo project, and obviously they didn't say their source, but said it was different than Emily Rogers. So, and David, as you pointed out, the Switch specs actually show that it has, you know, an accelerometer and a gyroscope and all that in the tablet itself.
Which I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually went to I had heard someone say that, and then I was like, what? I didn't believe that. I always thought that all the motion control was stuck just to the Joy-Cons, and that whenever you tilt the system, it's just the Joy-Cons being fed into the system. But yeah, the actual tablet itself has an accelerometer and gyroscope in it. So that would make sense if you're trying to do motion control with your hands, and then kind of that 1-to-1, or not, it wouldn't be 1-to-1 because you wouldn't have the kind of forward back movement, but kind of the tilting of your head around
Right.
it'd be great for like a seated VR experience.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people point out the Switch isn't like got the best resolution and all that, and maybe it would be a poor man's VR, but obviously that would still be cool if it, you know, I mean, what if they ported some like Virtual Boy games over or something?
What if we got Virtual Boy games in Nintendo Switch Online before Super Nintendo games? I would probably, I don't know what I would do. I would eat something. I would eat my hat.
Holy shit.
That would be crazy. It's like
I'm grabbing my head right now. I'm just like, yeah, what a surprise. Nintendo would totally do that.
They totally
They would give us something that we don't want, but then suddenly want when they deliver it to us.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they called it the Virtual Boy. You know what I mean? And just brought that name back because it's like got a weird nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like, but I think Labo makes a ton of sense for it to be a Labo thing, because I think it's like Labo seems to be where they're putting all their weird experimental energy anyway. And so if they're trying out all this new gear, I think it would work really, really well with that. I'm sure you could work something with the infrared camera even, you know what I mean, for like depth. And I think that makes a ton of sense, and it kind of mitigates them being like, oh, we're going all in on like a plastic peripheral and like all these first party games on the 720 undocked screen. You know what I mean? Like Labo, you could keep the graphics simple. You know, you could do something, make it for kids, you know what I mean? But then have it to where it has some expanded use.
Yeah. If that comes out for a Labo kit, I'm definitely getting it. That sounds cool.
It would get me to buy Labo again.
And it probably would be just like all the other Labo, not very deep experience. And so, but whatever.
Well, just, throw in like a movie player or something. You can watch it in a little Nintendo themed movie theater or some movie you're watching.
Just port Nintendo Land.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all the news aside from the really big news, which was the Nintendo Direct presentation that happened last Wednesday.
Woo.
So that was a big one. And we're going to go through this one in order. So I'll kind of take us through. So the Direct opened up with a Mario Maker 2, right? But it looked like it was from Super Mario World. I don't know why I had a hard time remembering the name of that game.
Yeah, it's a little indie game nobody's really heard of.
And I thought this was really cool. They showed right off the bat, they showed the slopes, which everybody's been asking for.
Well, see, even before that, I don't want to sound like I'm a Mario Maker expert.
Be an expert.
But first of all, I just want to say I'm hyped. This is awesome. I'm really excited for this game. Second of all, I knew it was Mario Maker even before they like paused and showed the slopes.
Sure.
Because he had that little Mario had that little shadow behind him. You know what I mean? Like in the Mario Maker, like whenever they do the old school styles, it's almost like a cutout of the old pixel art, and on it. And I was like, Mario Maker, and everybody's like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, no, trust me, it's Mario Maker.
It's like a faux 3D kind of look.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It kind of adds that, kind of like in Mario 3, how the platforms have shadows on the back, like it's supposed to be a stage play sort of thing. You know, that whole kind of aesthetic. They really brought that in for Mario Maker. Anyway, sorry.
That's
talking
great.
About it.
And one of the things I just want to say about the slopes was that's something everybody has been asking for. And like you just said, Matt, Nintendo has a habit of not giving us what we want, or ignoring that, and then maybe sometimes giving us what we didn't know we want, but then sometimes not. But that's kind of a little nod right there that they are listening.
Yeah. I think it kind of became a meme, right? Slopes. Everyone was just like, well, this game needs slopes, but it's true. It's like, it was really glaringly obvious whenever you started to download like packs of people recreating Mario World levels or like Mario 3 levels, or New Super Mario. Yeah. You just couldn't do so many of the levels because they all had slopes in them. And so, really, really glad to see that.
And then I'll be honest, I didn't have a Wii U. The one thing that got me closest to wanting to buy one, or to actually buying one, was when Mario Maker came out. I remember just watching YouTube videos and being like, man, I want to make Mario levels too. So I'm really hyped about this too. But
it was like a huge viral hit, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's just such a great streaming game. You know what I mean? And it's like, and you can also take levels from viewers, if you're a streamer, it was a great online thing that was really stymied by like Nintendo's like YouTube policies back then.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And now that they've loosened a lot of that up, the Nintendo Creators Program is kind of defunct now, which is good because that was terrible. And it's like now I feel like there's going to be just a ton of Mario Maker stuff. With the number of Switches out here, it's going to sell like hotcakes, man.
And what I was saying, like, since I didn't play it, and you can speak more to this, David, but my understanding is that trailer they showed at the beginning of the Direct showed a ton of things very fast that are new. All kinds of enemies and power-ups and
tons of stuff. There's a whole new mode. So it's as far as I can tell, it's kind of hard to see. I've gone through it trying to find like new Super Mario Brothers style in it, but I feel like they've removed that. And someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like as far as I can tell, leave it in the comments below. But as far as I can tell, they've replaced the new Super Mario skin with Super Mario 3D World,
but 2D.
But 2D,
Yeah.
Which is super strange that they would do that. But I'm excited about it. It makes me like resent New Super Mario U Deluxe that much more. You know what I mean? I love the graphical style, but like that alone, tons of new enemies from that game and tons of new items from that game. You can now auto scroll vertically and you can make straight up vertical stages. Yeah. It looks like there's new objectives too. It looks like there's a way to get like 100 coins to finish the level and
Luigi's on the box art.
Both
both as in the maker outfit, which implies maybe you can cooperatively make a level. I don't know. Maybe that's
That surprised me.
a jump in logic, but and also as a little playable character, or what looks to be, because it's obviously just art. But so it looks like maybe we'll be able to play as other characters. I know in the original they had like sort of weird skins or something. Isn't that
Well,
right?
the NES mode, whenever you play it in the original Super Mario Brothers mode, you could unlock all these little pixel art skins of all, like, it was like over 100 different Nintendo and otherwise characters, even like Japanese pop culture characters had skins in it. Yeah. The game was like a weird kind of sleeper cult hit, and I'm really excited to see what it does now, like in the masses.
Well, before we move on, what about the controls? So obviously the Wii U had the gamepad where you had the second screen, and it was also on the 3DS, which had a second screen. And so there's the big question of how intuitive will it be? Will it be better in handheld? Any thoughts on that? They sort of show like I don't know what the word is.
Like a weapon wheel kind of radial.
Like
system.
a radial.
Yeah.
Menu.
Yeah,
radial menu.
Yeah, that's the word.
That sounds very professional.
There's a radial menu or 3, or whatever. So hopefully that'll be either intuitive or they will figure something out that makes it.
I don't think they're going to like ship it with a stylus or anything like that. Yeah. So I think that's their answer to that. Are you excited for this, Matt?
I never played Mario Maker. But I'm the type of person, I will play other people's creations.
Right.
But I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna make levels.
Not at all. You won't even mess around with
I'm not sure. Like, I had a Wii U. I loved my Wii U, but I never bought Mario Maker. It never brought the same draw to me.
Gotcha.
Right. I also liked playing levels more than I like making them, just because to me Mario Maker is just infinite Mario levels forever. You know what I mean? And you can scale the difficulty, and you can play easy stuff if you want for beginners, or you could just do really difficult expert shit that like nobody ever beats the levels. But I will say, something that we should all do as comedians is I did Rob Gagnon's experimental comedy show Sandbox, and I played this like French artist who my art was Mario Maker levels. And that was really fun. Like it was fun to make these levels that are kind of almost like troll levels, or like just themed, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like I had one about like my divorce, and I had one about like the inevitability of death, and like it was fun like to have Rob play it on stage. So it's like you can do lots of stuff. It's kind of like the streaming thing. It's like, it's like you can use it for entertainment purposes rather than just trying to make the best level you can. And that's, I don't know. I'm hyped. I already feel like this is gonna be my game of the year.
Yeah. Just thinking of everything before Mario Maker, we just had ROM hacks.
Right.
Of people playing these really hard, difficult Mario games.
Yeah.
But now, like, Nintendo gives us a creator that they did with Mario Maker that allows us just to be creative.
I was a big ROM hack guy, too, so this game is right up my alley.
Yeah.
Well, next in the Direct, they showed some more footage from Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order. And they've sort of focused on Captain Marvel, which makes sense. Her movie is about to come out in like 3 weeks or something. So, I'm really excited about this game too, because I'm a big Marvel nerd, and I liked the original one, I think back in the Xbox days.
It was on Wii as well, right?
That's a question
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah,
Marvel Alliance 1 and 2.
That's what my friends played it on.
Yeah. Did you guys ever play Lord of the Rings 2 Towers on PS2?
Yeah.
No.
It's a similar aesthetic. It's like a hack and slash game. But that itch, I still have an itch to play that game, and it looks like Marvel
those Lord of the Rings games are amazing.
I know, yeah. Marvel Alliance 3 looks like it'll scratch that itch. I'm always looking for something like that.
Yeah.
You single-handedly just raised my hype level by comparing it to that game. Like,
if
seriously, I never played the Ultimate Alliance games, but like I love those games, so I might give this a chance.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that sort of horde, like almost Diablo, like kind of
like a Gauntlet Legends.
Yeah, exactly. Gauntlet.
It's cool to see like Wolverine and the X-Men in with the Marvel characters with their like kind of MCU costumes. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of a weird mashup that we don't get in movies that we get in video games. So that's kind of cool.
Then this was a little left field. Box Boy and Box Girl was the next game announced, and not only was that the next game announced, and by the way, I didn't mention this, but Super Mario Maker 2 was announced for June.
Oh yeah, E3 drop,
baby. I should have said that's surprisingly soon.
Yeah.
And Marvel Ultimate Alliance, they said summer, which I think we already knew, but maybe we just knew 2019. I can't remember now. But then what I'm getting to is Box Boy and Box Girl. They announced for April 26th, which is also very soon. So that's sort of, I guess, fills their April That's our April Nintendo game.
This is sort of off subject, so feel free to direct me back. But this whole change of the industry of like announcing a game that's coming out in 2 months or coming out like 6 months from there, that feels like a huge shift. Because like growing up, I would see something at E3 like an Ultra 64 and it not seeing it anymore for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And it feels like this really surprising shift to where we just are surprised and we can play it in less time.
I think it's a good thing.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And Nintendo seems to be, I don't want to say like leading that charge. I'm sure that's not true, but they seem to have decided that is their focus.
Well, I feel like Nintendo has perfected and it's releasing today. You know what I mean? Like that gets people hyped. You know, and I mean, Beyonce sold that from Nintendo. I think like,
yeah, hear that.
but I think it's great, and I think it's only going to get more that way since Nintendo kind of shot themselves in the foot with this Metroid Prime 4 thing.
I think that's a good point. I think that and we'll probably talk about this too. Because of that they had to mention Bayonetta even though they didn't show anything. But sticking to Box Boy and Box Girl real quick, did you guys ever play Box Boy games on 3DS?
I did not, but it looks fun. I love these type of puzzle games.
Yeah,
I never did. It reminds me of those TI-83 games. You know what I mean? Like those kind of like little puzzler box games. But yeah, it looks fun.
Depending on price and stuff and what I'm doing in April, maybe I'll pick it up. I don't know.
I'm not going to drop any more than $15 on this game.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of curious what they price it at because, you know, I feel like it's comparable to like Captain Toad or something, which was $40, but maybe it's a new game and not a port. So maybe 30,
well,
40.
It has the old 3DS levels in it, right?
No, it's a completely new game.
New?
It's a completely new game. It's not, and it sort of focused on co-op, I think, as all of their Switch stuff seems to.
Reminded me of Snipper Clips.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see what happens with that. That's pretty soon. So maybe in 2 months we'll be talking about that again. Yeah. Then next, this was a kind of almost head scratcher. They Smash Ultimate Update 3.0 ? And Joker is coming before April. I think is the way they worded it. And that was
before the end of April.
And everybody is like, why? I guess they wanted to acknowledge it, but don't feel ready to tell us.
I don't think they're ready to show anything from Joker other than his character model.
Yeah.
You know?
And they only kind of showed his like torso.
His like bum.
Yeah, like you didn't see his head or his like feet.
It's got a nice
kind
bum.
of weird. It was just kind of I guess it was nice that they like if there had been no Smash at all, I think people would have been upset about that. Just like people were upset about Animal Crossing.
Yeah, well, they're like, it's the biggest game out there right now. We have to mention it. But I think the big news out of that was they confirmed that they're adding new modes.
Yeah, I don't remember. Did they say new modes or did they just say like we're going to be adding some stuff and we'll talk about it later? I can't remember the exact wording. Not that it matters, but it kind of hinted at new modes.
Yeah, and I might have been misremembering this, but I remember they showed like it was like pixelated out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like a
big
Switch
question mark.
Yeah, and it really looked like it was 2 different modes that they were showing. What do you guys think that those might be?
Break the target.
Break the targets would be great. Yes, I would love to see Stage Builder back. What about you, Patrick?
Well, as I said last time when we talked about Smash, that was Smash Ultimate is my first Smash game, so I don't know.
They should just port Mario Maker into Super Smash Brothers so you can like really get crazy with your levels.
Yeah.
When we were doing the last episode where we talked about custom game modes in Smash, like there's so many Smash 4 custom games that require custom maps.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be
for sure.
So that like a lot of custom mode or custom rules could be improved if you could make a map for them.
Yeah, I think like that, like Smash Fighter Turbo would work really well with that if you could like pick the music too. You know, like if you could pick just Street Fighter music and stuff like that. I think that would really open the game up.
I also hope they add more platforming challenges to classic mode, and so that it's not just that one Kirby level.
Well, if they add break the targets, if they make a break the targets for each character, that would solve that problem. You know what I mean?
Any other thoughts about this? I mean, so they said by the end of April, but it was just a weird wording. And then later, I think on my Facebook feed, I got a Nintendo ad because I guess they know their market.
Has secrets out that you do a podcast about that.
That said like Joker coming April. So I guess and it also wasn't 100% clear to me if I assume 3.0 is going to come at the same time, but they were so vague about it all.
I think we'll be getting big patch updates with all the new characters.
Yeah. I think that's a good guess.
And that's a Persona like anniversary at that point. I think it's like the 2-year anniversary of Persona 5 whenever that comes out. So that would make a ton of sense for April. That's what everybody was speculating anyway.
it also made it sound like they're going to give us news, but maybe they'll just pull another Piranha Plant on us and just drop it in April. We'll see.
I'd like that.
That would be kind of
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
The next game they talked about was Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. So they added a free co-op mode, which I have a lot to say about actually, real quickly. And
Sure,
they
go for it.
they also announced some paid DLC, some new courses. I think they said like 5 new courses with 12. I'm making some of these numbers up. Challenges, which was a little bit weird wording too. Of like, does that mean there's 5 new maps and they have different challenges? So it was a little unclear. But I have Captain Toad, and I bought it just because I was interested in it. And very quickly, like my son was really interested to watch me play it. So I have a handful of games that I just play with him when he's watching me. Like I don't play it on my own, and this is one of them. And so the very first thing I did when I got home because I watched this at work and then I went home, was like, hey, Captain Toad has 2-player now. Do you want to play some? He's like, no.
Really?
And I was like, I was so bummed. Because like on the drive to go pick him up, I was like, this is going to be great. And
Time
then
to live some really good news.
the benefit of having a 4-year-old is you can kind of like convince them to do anything. You know what I mean? Like,
So you
kinda
force your
wear
kid to
them
play this
down.
game, is what
Yeah,
you're
so
saying.
I was like, oh, it's gonna be great. You know, like, oh, we're gonna play. I convinced him to play it. Like he actually wanted to play it, but he just wanted to watch me because I think that's what he was used to. Routine is what kids are used to. But anyway, I convinced him to play it. It was great. He had a lot of fun.
Oh, good.
It's there are flaws. The camera. Thankfully, he doesn't mess with the camera too much because he doesn't mess with the second stick very much.
Right.
He's 4, so his ability to do more than one action at a time is hard. But occasionally, when he'd hit the camera, or he'd just be like, "Where am I?" You know, and I'm like, "Well, you're on the other side." So the camera's a little bit weird.
Sure.
It makes the game easier, which in this case is good. You know, because it's like there's another person that can help. Just because there are a lot of puzzle parts where now that you have a second person, it's almost like a super shortcut to get some of the things done.
Right,
But
like the timing-based kind of puzzles and stuff like that, I'm
yeah,
sure.
or like there's some puzzles where you get a cherry and then you have 2 toads and you control them and you have to have a certain number of toads.
Oh, so 2 people can just stand on that platform?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So now instead of having to get the cherry, you can just use your partner.
Yeah.
So things like that make it a little easier. But it was a really good experience, and we've played it a few times since then. So I'm psyched about that. It kind of brought some life back in the game for me. I don't know about the DLC though, because
Is it only $5? It looks like it was only
$5.99.
Okay, so it's not
about
like a
$5.
$20 DLC.
No,
Okay.
and so I guess that's kind of the thing. I'm kind of like, I'll wait and see what people say about that.
Sure.
Because I don't know. I
Very
feel
low
like
barrier to entry, $5 though.
my biggest problem with Captain Toad, and I think I have this problem with a lot of Nintendo games, is like they're clinging onto the life system. And when you play with a 4-year-old who's terrible and dies a lot, like now he can get frustrated because it's like, well, where am I? Well, you died, and that was our last life.
Well, it's using like the Mario 3D World system instead of the Mario Odyssey system, which does away with lives completely.
Right.
You know?
I'm kind of pro getting rid of lives or doing like Celeste type thing where like just show me my deaths or something.
Yeah,
you know
sure.
what I mean? Like if you want to have some sort of marker of it, because like especially in Captain Toad, because you die with your last life and then you just go to this place where you can just generate more lives. And there's no punishment really. It's really just dumb.
Yeah. It's
And
like
you
an
can start the
antiquated
level
system.
over again, right?
Yeah, but that's you would have to do that anyway, and that's what's dumb about it. Is like if you die, you kind of have to start the level over again. But if you run out of lives, then you have to go do this game just to get more lives, and then go start the level over again. It's just dumb.
It's funny that like with Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, with the cherries and stuff, it's clearly a spin-off of Super Mario 3D World. In Mario Maker 2, we now have a Super Mario 3D World theme. No Super Mario World, new Super Mario. God, this is difficult to say.
Super Mario 3D
no
World.
Super Mario 3D World on the Switch, and
Yeah.
that's kind of something that we thought might be announced. It's very
Right.
strange that it's getting all this love. It was kind of like whenever all these like Super Mario Sunshine stages came out in Brawl for the Wii, but there was no Super Mario Sunshine on it, or there has been since. You know, I don't know. It feels like maybe an E3 shadow drop.
I feel a lot of people are like they're not going to release 2 Mario games in 1 year. Well, they have, and there might be a third.
Let's get 3,
You
baby.
get 2 Mario games plus an extra, and then Virtual Boy.
and
On
all
Nintendo
the
Switch
Mario
Online.
Virtual Boy games.
Guaranteed. So moving on, the next game they had announced was Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, coming summer of 2019.
Another Kickstarter game.
Yeah, really. I don't have any opinions about this game. I know a lot of people that are into Metroidvanias are excited about it. Either of you have any thoughts on that?
It looks pretty.
It does, yeah.
Looks great. Yeah.
I'm not looking to go back and play Castlevania style games.
I mean, they're not making new Castlevania games.
Right, this is
so,
essentially the spiritual successor.
Yeah,
to those, right?
they need their fix. You know,
And I know
Looks
a
just
lot of people are into it. So
Yeah.
Then they gave a specific release date for Dragon Quest Builders 2, which I think is already out in Japan, but it's coming out in July 12th of this year. I'm kind of interested in this one.
Did you play the first one?
I did not. My wife, for some reason, my wife really wanted me to get that game, which is a weird thing.
Does she like Minecraft?
No, I think she just was kind of intrigued by it.
Right.
Like, she doesn't really play video games. So that's weird. So she's like, "What, do you want this for your birthday?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like,
Yeah, she's trying to get into gaming, Patrick.
Yeah.
Where's this?
so I also was hesitant because I knew the second one was coming, and I kind of felt like,
Right.
that, and I know a lot of people can get sucked into it too. So I'm a little iffy about whether I want to drop.
It looks great. Like honestly, it looks great. It looks like Minecraft mixed with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Which is
Awesome.
sounds like a perfect game. Like
Right.
I have a coworker who played this game quite a bit, and he says it's Minecraft with objectives.
I think that's what I need, because you were talking about Mario Maker, not wanting to make not having that drive to make levels. I mean, it's the same sort of thing with Minecraft, right? Like, you have to have some drive to create something.
Yeah, I'm not a big Lego guy.
Yeah,
so-
But
you want to
this
be
would-
told what to do.
But this gives
How do
you
I
a
play
nice,
this game?
Yeah, this gives you a nice balance of those
Yeah.
two things. And then Dragon Quest 11S also got shown off.
Another very pretty game.
Yeah,
It's looking good on the Switch, man.
yeah. I was thinking about buying this game for PlayStation 4, but I'm glad I haven't. I also don't have time to play a game like this, but I want to.
It's like
Well, you can't-
expansive RPG.
Yeah, you can't play Dragon Quest 11S and Octopath Traveler at the same time.
No,
and
I
Final
still-
Fantasy 7.
Yeah,
Still
and
slogging
raise your
through
4-year-old all at the same time.
I love RPGs, but man, it's harder to play them as somebody.
It's
with
a 100-hour
less
RPG.
time.
Dragon
Yeah.
Quest 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks great. I've never played a Dragon Quest game ever. I feel like if I would get into one, this would be the one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a huge time sink,
Yeah, it's coming out in the fall. They didn't give a specific date, and they showed some cool Switch exclusive stuff. I guess they have some extra adventures for some of the side characters.
You play in Japanese.
Oh yeah, and people were excited about that. Having the Japanese audio.
Like orchestrated music as well.
Right, they added some things people wanted. So that'll be cool. I might give it a shot. We'll see if I have 100 free hours in the fall.
Just send your kid to boarding school.
And then everybody's favorite game that we're most excited about, Disney Tsum Tsum Festival, was the next. This felt so out of place. We were talking about, like, Nintendo knows their audience. They're not going to talk about mobile games at this direct. But do they know their audience? They're telling us about Disney Tsum Tsum Festival.
The only thing I could think of during that was Zoom, 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 and my heart go boom, boom, my supernova girl. Anybody see Xenon Girl of the 21st Century? That just me?
No.
No, the
Never
reference
mind.
is lost on us.
One person maybe got that, and hit me up.
That's all that
'cause,
counts.
Yeah, let's talk Xenon.
So unless you have something about Disney Tsum Tsum Festival, we will be moving on.
I just learned what Tsum Tsum is. It's a line of stuffed toys.
Yeah, so have you never seen these in the store?
I've
Or
never
anything?
seen
I guess
these.
you don't go to kids' stores. as
Well,
much
I
as
feel like
do.
they have them at like Kinokuniya or something like that, right? Like they're like it's kind of like those little capsule toys where you don't know which one you're going to get. Is that kind of the
No,
idea?
They're
like
like these stuffed animals that are like hot dogs, but they're shaped. They're not shaped like the character. They're all shaped the same, but it's got like the face of Mickey or the
They're
face-
they're like decapitated heads of your famous Disney characters.
They're fucked up. I
That
don't
you
like
stack
it.
on top of each other. Decapitated heads.
Yeah, they can
All right,
stack.
you sold me. I'm picking this up day one.
Yeah, look at this. This is a picture of.
Oh, okay,
I'm showing
wow.
David right now of Disney characters.
Oh, we got some Wreck-It Ralph in there. We got some.
As-
that looks pretty good.
As somebody else pointed out, this isn't my original thought, but it's like you take all the originality out of these characters and just make them bland and the same. It's really just
It looks like a Wii game. It looks like a Wii U game. You know, like the Wii and Wii U are filled with like little multiplayer collection or minigame collections.
Yeah.
You know, it's like definitely feels like it's going to scratch that itch. I bet kids will like it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's an.
Hey man, 3 words: push that product.
So the next announcement was a Starlink.
Wait, can we keep talking about Disney Simpson?
We got to get off this, guys. We can't spend the whole episode on Disney Tsum Tsum Festival.
That's our second Tsum Tsum Heads.
Which, just in case you are interested, it's coming out 2019.
All right.
They didn't give us any specifics.
We're done.
Okay, no. The next Warriors game.
Yes, Disney Tsum Tsum Warriors.
Yeah. You want to talk about Starlink?
Yeah, Starlink was the next announcement. Okay, so the Star Fox update where you can play as Slippy and Falco
Peppy.
and Peppy.
And all of Star Wolf is in it too.
Oh yeah, and all the Star Wolf his crew.
Slippy's my man.
So they didn't announce a price for this, so it's probably free. And they've been supporting this game. I bought this game, but I haven't even touched it because it went on super mega sale. It's an Ubisoft game.
Were you like burned because you bought it full price and then?
I did not buy it full price.
Oh, okay.
I bought it when it was like 20 something bucks.
Right.
And I have it just waiting for me to play at some point. And I'm
Did you
glad.
get the physical version with the toy?
No, I got the digital version.
You can still play the Star Fox version of the game on Switch without the physical version, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The physical version I think actually gimps you because there's like there's only some things you can do with the physical version that you can do digitally.
One of the reasons
really?
I bought it digitally is that it's sort of a better deal.
Yeah.
Strangely, but I think that's just because of the cost of manufacturing toys or something. I don't know. But at any rate, I haven't fired it up yet. I'm gonna fire it up when I'm ready to start a new game or something. But now I'm definitely gonna wait. We might as well wait till all these updates come out.
I mean, this just makes me want a Star Fox game.
Yeah.
This looks just like No Man's Sky with Star Fox characters to me. And I've heard it's fun for a second, but it's very repetitive.
Yeah. Also, they said that there's going to be a racing mode. Star Fox characters in a racing mode. Legit, they said that. So
if that's Star Fox Grand Prix, I'm going to be very upset.
There's a lot of is that what people hurt? Somebody get their rumor wires crossed, or is they surely aren't going to have 2 Star Fox racing things in 1 year or something? So it definitely casts a shadow of doubt on that. Retro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks good. I think the 5 people that own Starlink will enjoy this free DLC.
I am one of them. I will enjoy it. I will wait till it comes out to play. And then Rune Factory.
Poor Starlink.
It looks good. I don't know.
What is that though? Like I see it. I want to play as Fox McCloud in that cool universe. It's a very pretty game. But I can't find it. Doesn't have the hooks in me, and I can't figure out why.
Well, I got interested in it, and I bought it, but I haven't even played it.
Yeah,
So I was like, "Oh, this will
here.
scratch the space game itch I have."
Mm-hmm.
But
If you have an idea of why that is, hit us up in the comments.
So then, move through the next couple, maybe pretty fast, unless you have something to say about it. Rune Factory 4. I don't know much about. That's kind of a Harvest Moon style game.
I didn't realize it was a spinoff of Harvest Moon.
It's the same creators. Yeah.
Everland Co.
And I guess probably even bigger announcement, Rune Factory 5. They announced coming out.
They announced that with a nice JPEG, so that was good.
You're saucy today, David.
And then a new Square Enix game, Oninaki, coming out in the
Oninaki
summer.
looks cool.
I'm kind of curious about that. It looked interesting.
Yeah, I'm not a huge JRPG guy, but it's like the kind of hook of that game seemed cool. The whole kind of reincarnation thing and the the kind of spiritual aspects of it, and the visual style I thought looked really cool.
It had a lot of things that are unique. In a direct that had a lot of anime games, that one kind of did stand out.
That was the one that kind of stood out for me. Yeah.
And then they showed some Yoshi's Crafted World, obviously, and here's our first available now. Actually, I'm sorry, the Treasure Tracker update was available now too, but
Some of it was, yeah.
But they dropped a demo for Yoshi's Crafted World, which I played with my son as well, and that was also a big hit. I am definitely getting that game because that game has a easy mode.
Yeah.
It has a mellow mode, and so
Where he just flies the whole time.
I put it on mellow mode, and we played the level, and we beat it. And then my son was like, let's play the next level. And I'm like, we can't.
There's no such thing, son.
Let me explain demos to you.
Wait till March.
So it was a hit. You and your son liked it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. He was able to do it, and in mellow mode, he didn't die, which is one of the problems I have. Like with some games, even easy games, he'll get frustrated because he's dying, and somehow we made it through the level without him dying.
So Yoshi in mellow mode is flying the entire
He has
time?
wings.
Oh, he has wings.
Yeah, so
And-
he you don't have to touch the ground.
And it's almost like he could Kirby it if he wanted to.
That's
he can
tight.
just fly across the levels.
I read something on Reddit like a couple days ago about how mellow mode kind of adds the option to have a floor is lava mode if you're really hardcore, like just trying to beat each level without
Make
touching
mellow
the ground.
mode hard mode.
Yeah, basically. Like it seemed kind of cool. This is the other Unreal Engine 4 game that I was talking about. This is Nintendo's first game that they've made in Unreal Engine 4. I find it very fascinating from a technical perspective because this game runs in 60 FPS, but I think maxes out around 576p in dock mode, which is really low.
Yeah, people
for a first party Nintendo game.
I'll say this: I played it docked. I had no issues with the visuals. I'm also not a graphics snob.
Well, they're simplified graphics
Right, it is
to begin
cartoony
with.
graphics. I don't
Right.
need cartoony graphics to be amazing.
I just think it's interesting because I feel like they made this game in Unreal Engine 4, or they're dabbling in Unreal Engine 4 in an attempt to make more games. You know what I mean? And like speed up development. And it's just funny because this game was like delayed.
Right.
So it's not really working, but it's like, but I'm interested to see what they can do with it. It's definitely got that kind of Unreal look to it. You know what I mean? But, I hope it's good. I wasn't super drawn into the demo, but
Did you played it?
I played it today, yeah, and I liked how it didn't feel quite right to me. Like the flutter jump.
Yeah,
didn't
the
feel
forward
quite right.
momentum seems just a little bit slow.
You played it too?
Yes. I did not play mellow mode, but now
Yeah, me
that
either.
sounds really chill.
Well, yeah, I don't know what the forward momentum is like when you don't have wings, because that's the only way I played it. I intended to play it regular mode too, but I just didn't get around to it.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like if the Mario jump is maybe, I don't know, like 10 frames, it feels like Yoshi is somewhere between like 6 and 7. So it feels
But
just...
then that extra flutter added on to
yeah,
it.
yeah. It just feels slightly... Yoshi doesn't move quite far enough that I would expect.
Well, I feel like he moves less than he does in like Yoshi's Island.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
the flutter sends you up vertically a little bit less, which whatever, I'll get used to it. That's a super big nitpick.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Next announcement was Fire Emblem Three Houses. They spent obviously they said they were going to spend a lot of time on this. They didn't spend quite as much time as I might have thought.
And those three houses are Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin.
Yeah, I think it minus Slytherin, whatever it is minus Slytherin. There's no evil one.
Right, there's no evil one. Right.
It is hobbits, elves, and dwarves.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were joking about it looking like a Harry Potter thing, which I guess that's fair. There's no other fantasy school thing that's that famous, but I get annoyed when it.
Well, there are a ton of those in Japan. Like the anime academia sort of like trope is huge. It's just kind of them. Like Fire Emblem has just turned into like the first party Nintendo anime franchise.
Yeah.
You know,
I've never played a Fire Emblem game, but I think I might try this one just to say I did. Because they could have said it was anything, and I'll be like, I'll give it a shot because I'm really trying to try all the Nintendo properties I've never tried. So I don't know anything else on Fire Emblem from either of y'all. We're about to get into the most important thing that happened with the Direct.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Fire Emblem guy. This one definitely the fact that it's not just there's warring countries. Like the twist to it actually seems kind of interesting to me. You know what I mean? That it might be something that draws me into it. I wasn't digging on the graphics at first, but they have grown on me that now that I've watched the trailer a few times.
Yeah.
So I feel like it could be fun, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So, like I said, the most important thing that happened was Tetris 99.
Yes, son.
Are you kidding me?
The Yoshi's demo was available after the Direct, and here was the another thing available right after the Direct, Tetris 99. So I was the only reason I played Captain Toad before I played Tetris 99 was I have a kid and I had to get him to bed.
Right.
Otherwise, so I was excited to fire up Tetris 99.
Do you love it?
I really do, and I'm not
it.
that great at it.
Yeah.
I actually watched some YouTube video of people playing it today, and I'm like, oh, I am not doing a number of things
What you're
that I
supposed
should
to be
be
doing.
doing.
Right.
And I think next time I play it, I will be slightly better. The highest I've gotten is like 20 something.
David,
so I'm
you
pretty
won
terrible.
your first game, right?
Yeah, the very first game I played, I got Victory Royale
That's
at
awesome.
Fortnite Tetris. It was awesome. I felt so good, and I've not won a single one since. I've gotten like second and third a number of
Nice.
times, and I usually end up in the top 20. But it's like the more you level up, like the way harder the game gets.
Is that true? I don't
Yeah.
know. Did they match? The matchmaking is so fast. Are they really matchmaking you against better players?
It's like another battle royale game where it's like you'll have kind of a swath, right? It's like
Yeah.
if you kind of scroll through the ending results, like the higher up levels you get, the more like 13, 15, 20s, 25s you'll find. But it's like you'll have there's only so many probably servers they can have running at once, so you're going to collate some people if it's 100
Yeah.
people,
So I just it's a great Switch game because you can play it, and I mean maybe if you're winning it actually takes longer. but as somebody who's never gotten past 22 or whatever, it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it's a great game to like, I got about 5 minutes or whatever. I'll
Sure.
play a quick round of this.
I think even if you win,
It's still pretty
less
fast.
than 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's so fun. I think they did a really, really great job. I love whatever just like savvy businessman was like, well, what about a Tetris battle royale? You know what I mean? Like, it seems like such a boardroom decision to make this game, but it's like, it works so well.
Also, this, I guess, is what Nintendo is doing to make their online service more appealing or whatever, right?
That's
Like we
right.
talked about that last time that they had that, like, we're going to do some things to boost our online service, and nobody would have thought it would have been this.
Right.
Wow,
Well, it's going to
yeah.
hold us over to Disney Tsum Tsum battle royale.
Tetris, oh my god. Tetris 99 isn't on any other platforms.
Right,
Right,
it is a Switch exclusive.
I think it's
Yeah.
a Nintendo developed game.
Yeah.
As far as I
It's
can tell
not
from
a
the
timed
credits.
from the
exclusive?
credits, yeah.
No, I mean it says that they have the Tetris rights from the Tetris company, but it says developed by
certain
Nintendo.
things developed by, like-
Yeah, like on the but there's no real like there's nothing on this game. Like the game just it feels like an early access game where there's like no modes,
talk about
no
that,
options. It's like very bare bones. It doesn't tell you how to do anything in the game. You just kind of have to figure it out.
That too, yeah. That's why I was like watching people play on YouTube today and like, oh fuck, I could have been doing this the whole time.
You're like targeting people with KO, like
Yeah,
that are
like-
almost close to a KO or whatever.
So anyway, but in addition to what you're saying about early access, maybe in addition to adding a tutorial or like some sort of online manual, there's a data miner, and it's that oatmeal. It's not
Oatmeal Dome.
something like that. And I should have had this written down. Sorry, Oatmeal
Welcome
Dome.
to the Oatmeal Dome.
That data mined Tetris 99 and found out that there are going to be some new modes, which makes sense because it feels like there's some spaces for it, like in the stats. Team battle, 2 giant teams clash. Be on the winning side. These are things I guess they found. These are quotes,
It's like 50v50 in Fortnite, I guess.
right? Or 48,
48, 49.
40.
When you play teams, it's Tetris 98.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Com battle against 98 bots, defeat the machines. That's what I need to practice.
Just like a
on.
single player
Yeah,
mode.
like a
Yeah.
practice. And then marathon, which score attack, 200 lines or endless. Maybe that's what I need. We don't really know what that means. He couldn't tell.
And that just sounds like normal ass Tetris.
Right, which is good because that's what I need to practice on so that I have the
I don't know. I feel like they won't do that because then nobody would buy Puyo Puyo Tetris. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Well, I hope they do
like-
because I don't have that.
yeah, okay,
I have
sure.
that game.
Dude, Puyo Puyo Tetris is great.
It's super good.
I love that my Switch has turned into a Tetris machine. Like it's got Puyo Puyo Tetris for that. It's got Tricky Towers for like my crazy inverse Tetris, and now it's got Battle Royale Tetris. I love it.
Tetris is the series that I've purchased the most.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
I bought it originally on my iPhone, had it on Game Boy, Super Nintendo. It's like it's the same game, but it still provides that same satisfying experience. But now you get to play against.
Man, Tetris DS was
98
such a good
people.
version of Tetris 2. Did you play that one?
I never played that one.
It was great. That was like a big Nintendo crossover Tetris game. It was like they had a lot of pixel art from Nintendo characters and
that
stuff.
sounds tight.
It was awesome. It's one of the best versions. Yeah.
Well, we intended this to be a shorter episode, but you guys, this might be a longer episode.
Wow. Okay, let's keep on going.
Let's try.
So,
Let's check along.
But real quick before we move on, there's also going to be in-game events in Tetris 99. So who knows what that means, but we'll find out eventually. Nintendo actually announced that, and the data miner found it. So then moving on, there was an announcement of Dead by Daylight in fall of 2019, which I think is a port of a Xbox game or something
That's
like
a
that.
PC game. Are you
It's like
familiar
a
with this game?
horror game.
Yeah. I
play
mean,
it?
I haven't played it. No, I mean, it looked like ass in the direct.
Yeah, it didn't
Looked
really look
that
yeah,
and
but-
Assassin's Creed 3 both look terrible.
Oh, Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, we'll get to that one shortly.
Dead by Daylight, I have a friend who streams on Twitch, Running Man 37, good pal Doug, but he plays exclusively Dead by Daylight.
Wow.
And he's like a pro player and like incredible at this game.
And does he play both sides of it as the monster and the
He plays
the victims
Killer.
exclusively?
Yeah, almost Killer only. I think I've only seen him play Survivor once.
Interesting.
Yeah. But this game it's really fun. You play different killer archetypes and try to survive.
Like Friday 13th
That's
kind
exactly
of style.
it. Yeah, like Left 4 Dead.
Deltarune Chapter 1 coming out February 28th, 2019. I guess that's a sequel to Undertale or...
Console exclusive for right now.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys play Undertale?
I didn't finish it. I have it. I'll probably pick it up as soon as I finish Undertale. I've liked Undertale a lot that I've played so far, but it's very quirky.
Yeah.
I think if it's more of that, then I'll be into it.
It looks like it's more of the same.
Fun game to play with like a friend watching, and you just kind of both laugh at it.
And then Daemon X Machina coming out in the summer, and they dropped a demo available after the direct. Did either of y'all play the demo?
Yes.
I did not. Yeah. What did you think about it?
It was good. I was hoping that it would be similar to Zone of the Enders. Another
looks
mech,
like it, yeah.
another mech game. It still feels a little clunky, but a lot of the customizations you can do. You can edit your pilot. You can edit your weapons. I was hoping to hold two like laser pistols in my hand. I was like, "Fuck that shield! I don't want a shield. I just want two guns." But they didn't let me have two laser pistols, so instead I got a machine gun and a laser pistol.
No dual wield, no buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe down the line. I don't know.
Yeah, the controls are a little wonky to get used to. It does feel very like boxy. But once I got used to like how to strafe or how to target and how to shoot missiles and stuff, it felt very good.
So you dig the controls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took a little while to get used to it and to figure out how the map communicates
Oh my
bits
gosh.
of information. You played it too.
I played it too.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I would echo what you're saying. The controls. I'm not played any mech games in the modern era. I think I played like mech games back in the PC
Warrior or something.
day
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
was like a kid, which is just like completely different. But so I was a little bit just out of my element, and I lost the first mission. The very first mission, they make a big deal about how this is really easy, and nobody, like in the little cutscene or whatever, it's like nobody ever
Yeah,
fails
it's like
this
most
mission.
people don't fail.
And I failed it mostly because I had no fucking clue what the map was showing me, because I didn't go into the options and read all of, because afterwards I realized you can go and read all this stuff in the menus about how to play the game. But I was like, where are the enemies? Like I killed all the enemies but one, and I just could not find them because I didn't realize they were orange.
The rest of the world seems to be orange, so I can see.
Well, on your
losing them.
on your radar, the enemies show up as orange.
Okay, right.
And I just for some reason could not find the last enemy, and time went up, and I was like so embarrassed.
Yeah, because the icons for the enemies are orange.
Yes.
But they're the same icon, like a little blip. The same icon for your friends.
And some enemies
Oh,
are
blue.
red when it's like some enemies are orange when they're the target, and some are red when they're just regular. And it just kind of fucked me up. And but then
they're asking.
Are you okay?
no, I'm shaking.
They're asking for feedback, so it's like that stuff. I think that we thought this was going to be coming out a little earlier, and maybe it will still hit that release window that we talked about last week. But it's like, they're looking for feedback on it, So it's like stuff like this, like tweet at them if you have like concerns about UI stuff,
I originally kind of was interested in this game, and then I decided there's too many games coming out that I'm more interested in. But after playing the demo, I was like, I might be interested in playing this. Mm-hmm. I kind of sucked at it. I lost in the boss battle too. Just the healing was tough for me too. I ran out of ammo in the last boss. Did you beat the boss, the fourth mission?
No, I didn't play. I only played through the second mission.
Okay. The fourth mission is sort of like a boss battle, and I think it took me like 20 minutes, and I just kind of died because I ran out of ammo and there was no more ways to heal myself, and I was like, this sucks. And then I was like, I don't know that I want to replay it, but it was like a learning experience, and I think if you do play this game, unless you've got a lot of experience with this genre, you've got to be prepared to kind of, like Matt said, figure that out, the controls and stuff.
you have to strategically use all 8 buttons.
Yeah, and I was not doing that. At the very end in that boss battle, I started to I can actually dodge these attacks. You know what I mean? But anyway, moving on. Grid Autosport was the next announcement. Summer 2019. Switch got its first, I guess, realistic racing game there.
I love any racing game on the Switch.
Really? Even... Are you interested in this?
I mean, I don't know that I'm going to pick it up necessarily, but I think that that's just a genre that's been underrepresented on the Switch.
True.
And I do like racing games. I used to hate them, but the older I get, the more I like racing games. I might pick this up. Yeah.
I'm into arcade racing games. I'm not into the sim realistic ones. Like
your Gran Turismos or whatever.
Yeah.
Or your Cruising Worlds.
Yeah. I would love to see a Cruising World.
To put it in Xbox terms, I'm a Forza. What do they call it? Now I lost my train of thought.
Forza Motorsport?
There's Forza and there's Forza Horizon.
Right.
And I'm a Forza Horizon guy.
Right. Yeah. Well, the open world stuff is fun.
Where you can crash into trees and it doesn't matter. Next game was Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, spring 2019.
I'm definitely picking this up.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but amazing things about this game,
and it looked okay too. Which I think it's definitely a graphic. Or it's an indie game, but it's one of those indie games that looks like it could be a AAA game.
If that was Switch footage,
well, that's a fair point. We don't know that.
It didn't say anywhere that this is Switch footage because it looked really
David,
good.
I think in the Discord you were saying that this is a game about conquering mental illness.
Yeah, it's about psychosis and anxiety and depression and stuff like that. But
that's
it's
cool.
Kind of it through this kind of lens of the Viking sort of God of War style.
Then we saw some more Mortal Kombat 11, which is coming out April 23rd. Nothing really new there.
But I'm a fighting game fan. I grew up with Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
So what is huge about this release, which might seem very subtle, is it's coming on to major consoles and PC, but it's also coming to the Switch in roughly the same release window.
Yeah.
Which sometimes, the Switch version of games comes out 3-4 months after.
If we're lucky.
Yeah. Even
this is just kind of a couple weeks later, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Even that we're getting it on Switch, I think is a testament to people might buy it twice. They buy it for their graphic version on their PC or PS4, but then they get a portable version to play at tournaments or with their friends on the Switch.
Yeah. I think it's great to see it coming.
Yeah, more games, better.
What was it? Somebody during the live stream when we were watching it, somebody was like, "Do you guys think the blood will be green in this version?"
Yeah, it was gray back in this.
You put in a blood coat to make it green.
Yeah, right. That would be a nice little nostalgia bit. Yeah.
The next game they announced was Unravel 2, coming out March 22nd, very soon. That's a game I had been kind of interested in for the PlayStation, but I don't have time to play on the PlayStation.
Yeah,
so
the
maybe
devs
I'll
said
get it.
that they wanted it to come to the Switch originally, but it would have meant delaying the game, and that's why it didn't originally.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. It looks like it's tailor-made for it.
Yeah, and, co-op and all that.
The characters are the same colors as the Joy-Cons.
And then here's the game that you said was going to be graphically awesome. Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, coming out in May 21st. It just looked amazing. To you, David?
I don't know. Hard pass from me. I'm good. I'm not a huge Assassin's Creed fan. Yeah. I know a lot of people love that franchise.
I played the third one, and it was just okay.
I mean, it's like the worst Assassin's Creed
That's
game.
what people
right?
say.
It is the worst.
Yeah, so I'm good.
That's a strange choice to put that one on, but I guess because they were already remastering it for everything else.
They should have just brought the Black Flag Wii U port over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have put the shit out of that.
That's one of the best.
Yeah.
And then then Nintendo announced the three Final Fantasy dates that were kind of hanging out there. Final Fantasy VII, not a shadow drop, unfortunately.
Yeah, we had that one backwards.
Yeah, we did. So
Yeah.
that's coming March 26th. And Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon coming March 20th. And then Final Fantasy IX available now. Or later in the day, or whatever it was.
Yeah, I mean, I got it that day. Or maybe the next day. But
I remember you were hesitating because it's $21,
yeah, it's
something like that.
$20.99, the weirdest price in all of the history of video games.
Well, that's what the Captain Toad DLC is $5.99.
Right.
I think they're they're cheaping us out on that 99 cents. It
it feels a little
extra
scummy.
buck.
But I think it's the same price that it is on iPad and
Okay, is it?
Well, because it's a port of the mobile version and the Steam version, right? I'm actually having a really good time. It's I'm it's really charming. It's fantastic. It's my first time playing it through, so it's all brand new to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought maybe you picked it up because you'd played it before.
I've never played 9 either.
Yeah, it's a new one for me, and I know a lot of people say that Final Fantasy 9 is their favorite. And I get it. It's like, because I've played most of Final Fantasy 7. I'm the kind of guy who like starts a bunch of RPGs and never finishes them. I've never finished Final Fantasy 7, but it's just like they took everything from Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 8 and just like really figured out, like back in the PlayStation era, of like, here's how we just get the most out of the system. You know, here's how we get the most out of character design and the story and all this kind of stuff. I'm really enjoying it right now.
Do you notice any difference between the two versions? You said you did play the PS Vita version.
Well, yeah. So this version has upscaled character models and enemy models, and so they're all in HD. Also, the cutscenes are all rendered in HD. The only bummer is the pre-rendered backgrounds. Either they didn't want to take the time to re-render all of those, or they lost all the pre-rendered backgrounds because those are just upscaled. So it looks a little weird. It's like you've got really crisp, you know, they're low poly, but it's really crisp
foreground stuff.
Like characters, you know what I mean? And like, and the enemies and stuff like that running around in, you know, like 240p upscaled background. So it's a little jarring, but runs really, really well in handheld mode. This has been a game I've been playing like an hour of a night before I go to bed, you know, like in bed. It's perfect for that. I'm having a great time. My characters are woefully underleveled right now for the part of the game that I'm at. I need to grind a bunch, which is my least favorite part of these kinds of games.
Yeah.
So we'll see kind of how I do. But the mobile port has a bunch of like little cheats in where you can like, if you want to just make your damage 9999 during a battle, you can. Okay. You know what I mean? So if you want to like cut down on some of that grinding or like kind of boost your way through grinding, you can do that. You can also do like kind of a high speed fast forward thing. You can even actually, I think you can level up your characters to
I was about
max.
to say, why not just let you level your characters?
You can. It's just if you do that, you can't go back. So it's like basically that is for like if you played the game before and you just want to get the story. You know what I mean? But I think one thing I would like to talk about this before we move on is like we all assumed that Final Fantasy VII would be getting the Shadow Drop and that Final Fantasy IX would be coming out later. And I really feel like the reason they put it out now is because they knew that everybody was going to buy Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. And it's like if they released this beforehand, then they have at least like a solid month of people like buying Final Fantasy IX because there's no other Final Fantasy to buy. You know what I mean? And it worked on me. It totally worked on me. I might not have bought it if Final Fantasy VII came out, you know, so.
So then we had our two sort of unexpected or end of the direct announcements. First one was, we talked a little bit about this, Astral Chain, the new Platinum Games IP coming out in August, pretty soon, August 30th. What do you guys think about that?
It looks great. I love action RPGs. I think they're super fun. If I can like do a really dumb combo and then summon the hand of a demon out of the fourth dimension, then I'll fucking do that all day long.
And in this case, I guess you're chained to some weird, I don't even know what kind of being or something that you can also ride. We don't know yet about.
I don't know. It just reminds me of like Knuckles Chaotix. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
oh, that's a Sega CD game.
Yeah, but it's that game where like you play as Knuckles and a friend, and you're both like tethered to each other. It kind of reminded me of that in a weird way. But,
it looks interesting. I'm open-minded about it. They put up some info on their website. It's not like shit tons of new info, but there's some extra screenshots and stuff. If you're interested, you go check that out.
I love seeing new IPs. Again,
that's what's cool.
You know, it's another
exclusive.
It's another exclusive. Another game by who are we talking? Another Platinum game. So it's like, yeah, it definitely looks good. Platinum definitely has a lot of love for the Switch, and it's nice to see more exclusives.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people they're excited about it. You know, that style of game. Mm-hmm. And then
we all thought it was another Sin and Punishment game whenever they first started showing it.
That's what I thought it was, Sin and Punishment.
Yeah, that would have been cool
because it's sort of like this cop theme, or I think they were like cop lights or something like that.
Yeah. I'd love to see another Sin and Punishment game. Those games were really dope.
Those are rail shooters, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're like rail shooters, like third person, like behind the character shooters. Like it's almost like a Star Fox on the ground sort of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then our big final left field announcement is a Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening remake.
Oh my god!
Coming out sometime in 2019.
Wow.
I want it now. It looks so good. It's gonna be the end of the year, but it looks so good.
It'll probably be the end of the year, right? Because who knows? We could talk about that now or another time. But they've totally kind of redone the art. I mean, so originally this was a Game Boy game that came out in like '93. I was wondering when I was watching this, like, did I play this game? Because I had a OG Game Boy, but I think I stopped playing Game Boy like right around that time.
I think this is a Game Boy Color game.
Well, it was a Game Boy game, and then they released Link's Awakening DX, which was like, it was basically they like added
sense.
color to the whole game and then added like a new like color based dungeon to it. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I got so excited for this, like right at the very beginning, whenever they were showing there was like kind of an anime opening for it with like and it's a shot for shot remake of the in-game cutscene from the Game Boy game where he's like in the ship and the lightning strikes. And right away I was like, oh, is this Link's Awakening? Because I think we talked about that beforehand.
Well, we talked about
last week.
The rumor of the 2D Zelda game.
Right.
And it was true, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's not a new one. It's a remaster or remake, I guess, not a remaster of the.
It's like the Crash Bandicoot remake of this game. You know, where it's like the exact same game. It looks like, but with
new art. And let's talk about that art for a minute. It kind of looks claymation, cartoony.
It's got this chibi art style.
Yeah.
He's got like dead eyes.
Yeah, there's just like black dots, right?
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that it reminds them of like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like those like kind of Christmas
Frosty
60s movies.
Or not Frosty, that's a cartoon, but
I think the polarizing art style amongst fans is interesting. People said
nothing new for Zelda.
Yeah, exactly. People felt this way about the shift from Twilight Princess to Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Or from Wind Waker to Twilight Princess.
Right.
Yeah, and they were saying Wind Waker was like too cartoony. But Wind Waker is like one of my favorite games. It's so good.
I think I didn't realize exactly how much nostalgia I have for this game until I saw the trailer. Because it was like, because I was when I was a kid, I was a big Ocarina of Time guy. I was a big, Majora's Mask and Wind Waker and stuff like that. But I kind of didn't realize like how much I really played Link's Awakening when I was a kid. And I was looking back and I was like, oh yeah, I remember all of this exactly as it was. So I think it's going to be worth it just to kind of go down that memory lane for the game.
Here's a left field prediction for y'all. Dead-eyed claymation Link for Smash.
Another Link.
At least give me Link. At least give me an amiibo.
I'll take an amiibo.
Or that'd be a cool like alternate costume for Toon Link. Honestly, and something else I would like to see if they're going to be doing this. I know I'm getting too greedy because they just announced this 2D Zelda. There's a couple things I'd like to see from this. Because Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, those Capcom developed games, were both done in the exact same art style as Link's Awakening for the Game Boy.
Let's do DLC.
They just redid all of it. I would love to see those re-released in this art style as well. Those were both fantastic games. And then also what I was thinking as I was watching it was this style and this kind of like tile-based setup with these old school Zelda games would be perfect for a Zelda Maker.
Zelda Maker, that would be cool.
Because you could actually set them according to tiles instead of it being like a big sprawling 3D dungeon thing. So anyway, that would be cool.
I could also see some DLC for Breath of the Wild to usher in this new game that kind of has this chibi art style for Link in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
just
that could
like
be
they
cool.
did for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where they put a Rex skin on Link.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
I guess you'd have to make Link really small.
Really He's the size of a cuckoo.
Go fight a Lionel like that.
You're already dead inside, so you're gonna leg up.
So that was the Nintendo Direct, and I know we probably covered a lot of what we've been playing with the demos, and Tetris 99 is we pretty much talked about everything I've been playing because I was checking out the demos, and I was playing Captain Toad, and I was playing Tetris 99. What about you, David? Did we?
Pretty much. Mostly been playing Final Fantasy IX in my free time. Definitely whenever I get tired of that, I've been playing rounds of Tetris 99. Really trying to get better at targeting people. That's the really hard part in that. But I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about like kind of the meta game of like when to target whom,
Or you can like target people?
Yeah.
So the right stick. Yeah. So the right, that's like most of the game. So basically Tetris 99 is a battle royale game where you have to defeat characters to earn loot and level up. Like that is how it works. Like when you defeat characters, you get a badge, and the badge increases the amount of garbage that you send to other players, right? And then with the right stick, you can either have it set to randoms, set it to people that are close to being KO'd, so you can get the KO to kill them, you can send it to the highest level or the highest ranked players, or you can send it to people that are currently attacking you.
Or with the left stick, you can manually pick anybody you want.
Yeah, which whoever can do that is
Yeah,
like
it's really
a Rain Man
Maybe
style.
at the beginning of the game you can do that, but then but that's when you don't need to.
The second I take my eyes away from the Tetris well in the middle, I just start piling up shit. I'm like, okay, I just gotta focus.
So I did see on Reddit somebody like, that's the key is manual targeting.
It's like, all right, dude. But yeah, it's like I've been playing a lot of that. Super fun. I'm looking forward to like getting a lot better at I'm a huge Tetris guy, so it's right up my alley. The one last thing I've been playing was I just kind of fired back up Mario Maker again on my Wii U, just because I'm getting super hyped for Mario Maker 2, and man, forgot how hard some of those levels can be. Like I was playing right before I came over here today, and I don't even want to say the words that I was saying when I was playing that game. It was not pretty. That game is tough, but I cannot wait for that to come out. I was just kind of getting hyped.
Yeah, this Mario Maker announcement also made me go to YouTube and watch people play Mario Maker all over again.
Yeah,
that was blowing up YouTube and Twitch, 5 years ago, whenever that was.
If you guys want to come over and play some Mario Maker sometime, that'd be tight. That's a fun like pass the controller off sort of game because it's really tough. What about you, Matt? What's new on today's episode of games that aren't Nintendo games that Matt's playing?
I'm still playing Smash.
Oh, yeah.
So I play Smash in between games of Apex Legends.
Just when you're burned on one, you switch to the other.
Well, yeah, it takes like 4 minutes to load, but it allows me to play a quick game of Smash while I'm waiting to play another game.
That's great.
Try out that Spirit board. It's perfect for it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I won my first 2 games of Apex Legends.
Nice.
Congratulations.
I didn't do shit.
Very good. Very
Just
good.
your team carried you?
Yeah,
you
my
mean?
team carried me. Yeah, that's totally what happened.
You need an L block on your team.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's what I'm playing right now.
Well, cool. Well, our goal to make a short episode.
completely failed.
This might be our longest.
Confirmed.
I'll try to cut. Maybe I'll cut out the Rune Factory stuff.
That was like 1 minute. So, thanks everybody for listening to Super Switch Heads.
That's right.
Hey, write us an email, superswitchheads@gmail.com. Check us out on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever you find your podcast.
Please like and subscribe to our stuff on YouTube. It's a tough racket out there for Nintendo content. A lot of people are doing it. So anything that you can do helps. Obviously, if you can, we'd love it if you could leave a review on iTunes. That really helps us get seen. And like you were saying last week about our Discord and our Facebook.
Yeah, we'll put a link up to our Discord and Facebook group on Twitter. So make sure you head over to Twitter and go to Switch Heads. That's the Switch Heads with a Z at the end. Also, if you like some dink memes, I've been posting some dink ass memes over on our Twitter feed.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's true.
Hell yeah.
And thanks to Corduroy for doing the music.
Yeah, I guess maybe we can just say our personal handles. You can find me online at Monolith Fiji. That's MONOLITHFIJI on Instagram and Facebook.
You can find me on Twitter. It's Matthew MATHYOU.
And most places online, I am PDYX.
That's right. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.